What's up guys, my name is Jellycut5 and welcome to the Real Betis versus Chelsea Europa Conference League final preview. Before we do get into this video, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to also hit that notification button so you never miss a video. We've got to this point then, the Europa League Conference League final will be here, and it is going to be a very exciting one in fairness. I was never too sure to what to actually think of the competition, and it's not exactly in my highest regard, but at the exact same time we are in this position where we can win this trophy to make a little bit of history, to be the first sides to carry all European trophies. So in some ways that would be a nice regard, you'd like to think, in fairness, that's for sure. Real Betis are a very strong side. Just going through their injuries, Hector Bellerin is out of a hamstring, Marc Roca, Diego Llorente and Shimi Avila, with Chelsea also with Romeo Lavia ineligible, Annaliso hamstring, Fofana obviously, Amari Kellerman and Mikhailo Mudryk suspended, with Christopher Nkunku being a high doubt. So it's going to be an intriguing one, I have to say. I'm looking forward to it. The kickoff is at 8 p.m. in Warsaw, Poland, and let's go through how both teams reached the final. Now, as soon as Chelsea entered this particular competition, it was quite clear that we were the favourites, with the history that it stands and realisticness of the actual aspects of us being in the competition originally. We didn't do too bad at all. I mean, when you look at the groups, we absolutely smashed the groups. We won 6 with 18 points, goals for 26 goals, the most scored in a competition at that point in time. And then we faced a tough Copenhagen side, which I didn't think was that bad whatsoever. They're not a bad side. First leg was 2-1, second leg was 1-0, so a good kind of result there. And then we faced Lego Warsaw with a 3-0 victory, but then we actually lost our first game in the Conference League with a 2-1 defeat. Really needed to throw it away at that moment in time. And then we faced Swedish side Djurgården, where we had a 4-1 victory away from home and a 1-0 victory at home to be able to secure our place in the final. A very good run, and a very simple run at the same time. There was no real doubt that we shouldn't make the final. There was no real doubt that it was in the lives of many Chelsea fans of why we shouldn't be in the final whatsoever. It was a very good kind of position to be in, and it's been a very good position for ourselves to play a lot of our youth team, which has been really nice. Do you believe a total of 8 academy graduates have been able to have under Enzo Maresca at this point in time? So there's a lot that has been made in terms of the management being able to have it where we've been developing our youth, seeing players that don't normally play. Obviously Mark Gui that got injured, he had a very good run to start off with. Tyreek George has broken through the first team with it. Josh Akupom, there's been a lot of players that have been able to feature because of it, and Chelsea's run has definitely not been unnoticed. Looking at the opposition beyond Real Betis, their group games weren't actually too good. When you actually look at the league phase, they won 3, drew 1 and lost 2, settling 15th in the end, which was really interesting to see. They actually had to go through a playoff to be able to get through, because they only had 10 points in the end with goals for 6. Their goal difference was terrible. Bearing in mind ours was 26. Really interesting to see, that's for sure. Real Betis faced Ghent, who we previously faced in the group stages, with a 3-0 victory in the first game and then a 1-0 loss, which didn't really mean anything for them. And in the first leg, they didn't really start themselves in the best way possible, facing a Portuguese side there, and then a 4-0 victory meant they was able to get through to the semi-final, to the quarter-final, sorry. I'm not too sure the team they played in the quarter-final, but again, a pretty kind of self-explanatory one, and their toughest opponents they faced, which was the potential one, which was named at the start to be able to say they could potentially reach a final, was Florentina. Now, funny enough, there is actually some history between the two sides, having played each other 4 times in European competition, some points in the 90s and more lately in 2004-2005, I'm pretty sure. The last game being Real Betis actually won 1-0. The first group game we absolutely cruised, but yeah, in the second one we did actually lose 1-0. This is when you did play the same side in your group twice, instead of playing 8 random teams in that way, and before at home, 4 away. So there is some history, but not exactly in this particular modern era that we live in at this moment in time. So will be interesting to see who writes their history and name on the wall with a win in Warclaw. This is going to be the lineup that I'm predicting to face Real Betis. Enzo Maresca has already confirmed that Robert Sanchez will not be fielded and that Philip Jorgensen will be instead. He has mentioned it is unfair that he would be playing all of the games and to be wrongly kind of sidelined at that moment in time. So he will be our man in between the sticks. Marc Cucurella on the left-hand side and Reece James on the right-hand side. As much as they featured against Nottingham Forest, it's their strongest pairing at the end of the day, and I feel like it will be our best option. Trevor Chalobah to come in for Tosin with Colwill partnering. I feel like with obviously Tosin is a very much leader-like kind of player, but I do believe that Chalobah will be able to kind of replace Tosin and field for this particular game. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo in the middle. There's no doubt about it why these two shouldn't field. Romeo Lavia is ineligible to play, so this will be our best midfield pairing by any shadow of a doubt. Jadon Sancho on the left-hand side, Pedro Neto and Cole Palmer in that attacking fold. You could argue that Tyreek George or Noni Madueke could field, but I'm not too sure if they will. You could argue that Badiashile could field in the defence, having played a lot of the Conference League games, but we've got to go for our strongest team, haven't we? And then to striker, Nicholas Jackson up front. Obviously, the ban doesn't affect him playing in the Conference League whatsoever, and I feel like he'll be able to see if he can kind of return the favour to Chelsea after absolutely letting us down with that red card against Newcastle United. It's a very strong side, a few changes bearing in mind, but at the same time, I don't feel like we should go too silly with it, bearing in mind I know Josh Akipong and Tyreek George and Benoit Badiashile have all played most of the Conference League games, but we've got to play our strongest side, we've got to win this game, and I doubt Real Betis will be looking at thinking that they fielded other players. They're going to want to play their strongest side. They've got a good side at the end of the day. They've got the likes of Anthony, Pablo Fornals, Mark Bartra at the back. They have really, really good side. Isco, they've really done well this season. They drew against Barcelona. I think they won against Real Madrid. They drew against Barcelona. I mean, they've done really well this season, so there's no ruling them out whatsoever, and I feel like it's going to be a harder final than people are labelling it as, but in some saying that, we are definitely the favourite. Going into my score prediction, I'm going for a Chelsea 1-0 victory. I don't think there's going to be many goals. I think it's going to be very nervy. I feel like the fans are going to make a big atmosphere for either side, and I feel like it's going to be a game that nobody wants to lose, with it being a final. Chelsea have the chance, as I mentioned, to be able to be the first side in Europe to be able to have all trophies in their history, and I feel like it'll be a great way after winning the Champions League in 2021 to be able to come back and get ourselves the first trophy of the Bowley era. But until then, we will find out 8 o'clock tomorrow. It will be a very interesting one. I'll be watching it. I'm sure many of you will be at the same time, and until then, I will have my review slightly after. But as I mentioned, this is it for now. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe for more content, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Cheers.